Hey, welcome to this video where we are going to be going over the matrices questions of the 11 plus non-verbal reasoning section. Are you ready? I'm Jono from Atom Learning. Let's get into it. Remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel to keep up to date on all of our fun and fantastic videos. So what are we covering in this lesson? I am glad you asked. We're going to be looking at matrices questions, okay? Matrix or matrices, they're just grids, okay? It's just a fancy way of saying grid. We like to be pretentious. We're going to look at patterns and different pattern recognition stuff that you need to remember. It might be familiar from some of our other videos if you check those out. Then we're going to be looking at normal matrices. So these are the standard square grids. Then we're going to finish by looking at odd-shaped matrices. We've got a nice little hexagon coming up, so stick around to the end if you want to see it. Right, let's get into it. So, never say stop to a cute panda. What does this mean? Well, each letter stands for a type of pattern that you need to be able to spot. And this can be a helpful starting point in these questions, because basically what you're going to be doing, you're going to get given a grid that's got a tile missing, and you need to determine what the missing tile is. To determine the missing tile, you need to use these kinds of patterns to eliminate answer options. So number could refer to the number of shapes in each tile. Size could be how big the shapes are. Are the shapes getting bigger as you go around the grids? Shape, the shape itself, are they all triangles? Do we alternate between triangles and squares? Total, do the total number of shapes in each tile change as you move around the grids? Angle, are all of the angles acute? Color, are all of the triangles blue? Does that mean you can't have an orange triangle in one of the grids? And then finally, pattern, are things shaded a certain way? Are there diagonal lines? Are there horizontal lines? All sorts. So you need to be able to spot these patterns to help you eliminate answer options. We're going to look at an example together to help us work out what to do in these questions. So eloquent. So if we have a look at this example, we've got to pick which tile goes in that bottom middle space. So the first pattern that I noticed is when you move diagonally down and left, okay, from each tile, the shape stays the same. So if we start at the top right, we can see that blue triangle, and when we go diagonally down, we keep that triangle, okay? So that means in our missing shape box, we need to have one of those L shapes. So we can eliminate answer option C, this one, because it can't be a triangle, because whenever we move diagonally down and left, the shape stays the same. The next linking element is rotation. What you might notice is when we move down and left, we rotate the shape 90 degrees anti-clockwise. You can see this most clearly with the triangle. You see how that triangle rotates anti-clockwise as you go bottom left each time. So we know that our answer option has to be A. That is the only one that is going to fit in the box, okay? So there are a few things to consider here. There are a few red herrings, like the circle is not super important. You know, that dark blue circle, that's just an element that's there to try and catch you out. It's not actually part of the pattern. So not everything is important, but once you found a pattern, check it works for every tile and then apply it to find the missing tile. Find, check, apply. Absolutely stunning. Okay, next we have odd-shaped matrices, which is a similar type of question, just with a different shape. So in this example, we have a nice little hexagon made up of loads of triangles. What we need to do is we need to pick the missing tile in this hexagon. So again, it's the same thing. Find a pattern, check it works, and then apply it to the missing tile. So the first pattern I can see, the opposite triangles have half and then double the number of circles. So if we go in the top, in the middle triangle, that has one circle in it. If you go opposite to that, there are two circles. So I found a pattern. Now I'm going to check it works. If I go to the right and I look at the second triangle that has two circles in it, if I apply that rule, there should be four circles opposite that triangle, yeah? And indeed there are 4 circles opposite those 2 circles. So I found a pattern, I've checked it works. Now I need to apply it to get to the right answer. So I can see that opposite the missing tile, there are 3 circles. That means there needs to be 6 circles in the missing tile. I can get rid of answer option A. The next thing I notice is the size of the circles, okay? When the number of circles increases, the size decreases. So the biggest circle is in that top middle triangle. And then as we add more circles, the size gets smaller. That means we can get rid of answer option B because the circles are too big. The final pattern to notice is that the orange semicircle is always above the yellow semicircle. So answer option C can't be right because in one of those circles, the orange semicircle is below the yellow semicircle, okay? So our answer has to be D. Right, there we go. That is it. That's what you need to know for matrices questions. You're welcome. Wasn't that fun? So we reviewed the different patterns you need to know. Never say stop to a cute panda. Then we looked at a normal matrice, which is like one of those cute little square ones. And then we looked at an odd shaped matrice, which is like a hexagon. And they can be lots of different shapes. I hope this was a useful video. Thanks for watching. Make sure you head on over to Atom Learning to do some free practice questions when you start a trial. Goodbye, good night. Good evening, good morning. I don't know what time it is when you watch this video, but goodbye.